guys, good Tuesday morning. It's January 21st. Thank you for tuning in to our news update. This is kind of an unscripted conversation about the stories that you guys are clicking on khou.com, that you're maybe sharing on Facebook or Twitter. So go ahead and leave your comments and questions down below. We're going to circle back to those and try to have this as close to a conversation as we can. But we're going to start with some breaking news that is actually still impacting traffic in the westbound lanes of the Katy Freeway. So maybe you saw this in the past few hours, this crash involving a Liberty County motorcycle deputy. A couple lanes of the freeway were closed at Kirkwood. They're still closed at last check. There's a huge backup. Again, this is in the westbound lanes of the Katy Freeway at Kirkwood. It's a story we've been covering all morning since it happened at about 5:45. We don't have the deputy's condition confirmed, but when he was taken from the scene, crews there said he was alert and talking. So that's some good news. We know he was on his way to the hospital, but 3 westbound lanes and the HOV lane are impacted by this. And be sure to check back or download the KHU 11 News app, because as soon as everything gets cleared and reopened, we'll go ahead and let you know. Another story from overnight that you guys are really interested in is kind of a bizarre situation involving a burglary suspect. So there was a burglary call at this convenience store up in North Houston, and police arrive. And when they're showing up on scene, they also pass what they think is a suspicious U-Haul. So they start chasing the U-Haul because they think it's linked to this burglary. In the middle of their chase, and we have video of that too. Check this out. One of our photographers captured the chase of this U-Haul truck. The guy in the passenger side either falls out or maybe tries to jump out, loses his footing, slips, and the U-Haul runs over him, killing him. Now, police did eventually catch up to the U-Haul and arrested the driver. We don't have a name yet, but we know multiple charges are going to be filed, including assault, because she rammed the car into a patrol car, totaling it, and there could be other charges related to her alleged accomplice's death. But just a very, very bizarre situation that you guys are clicking on. We're covering mostly local stories this morning, which is kind of rare for us. A lot of times it's national stories or maybe regional stories that are grabbing your attention. But here's our third local story. It's out of Mont Belvieu, where last night there was a school board meeting. 16 people spoke. Our reporter Marcelino Benito, who covered the story, said to date there had been only 2 people who spoke up at a meeting to date. The issue was a senior's locks. So they're about shoulder length, well managed, but the problem is the district says they can't be that length. They need to be cut. So activists, his mom, they both spoke at this meeting. 16 people spoke at the meeting last night. Overwhelming majority of them were in favor of Deandre's locks. A couple people said the district shouldn't change the rules, but a lot of people are saying this is a rule that's old, that's outdated, that needs to be changed. It's a couple decades old, the superintendent said. Anyway, Deandre here isn't going to be able to walk in graduation in a couple of months, and he's been suspended. Activists are saying if the school board doesn't change the rule, they'll be looking into some possibly federal intervention. Let me know where you sit on this one. His hair isn't a disruption in class to me. A girl's hair can be that long, so why can't a guy's hair be that long? It's generating quite a discussion. We'll say that much. Our next story is generating a lot of reaction, not necessarily discussion, because it's really pretty one-sided. This is in Georgetown, just outside of Austin. A couple has a 3-year-old son who has Hurler's syndrome, which means he's probably not going to make it past the age of 20. And so they just want to give him the best life possible. Saturday, they got this. They were served by neighbors who want them to tear down the playground. Look at that. That's beautiful. The neighbors want the couple to tear down the playground they built for their son because they say it violates the rules of the HOA. So this couple, when they went to install the playground, they say they went through the proper channels in the HOA, got it approved. This couple has also tried to get the HOA to step in multiple times, and the HOA was basically like, no. So that's why the neighbors are going this route. The couple says they have sued other people over stuff as well. But it's just so sad to see this mom's like, we have to do these 5-hour enzyme treatments every week. He's 3, he's losing his vision, he's losing his hearing, and we might have to tear down the thing that brings him joy. Oh, and the couple the neighbors want them to tear it down, and they want $100,000 and for the parents to cover their legal fees. So when I said there was a lot of reaction, it is all supporting the parents. I have found a handful of comments that say the neighbors have the right because of the HOA, but most people are like, it's a beautiful playground. The kid loves it. Who's it hurting? Nobody. And if the neighbors don't like it, they can move. All right, let's check in with Blake now. I see him standing by over there with a look at our forecast. Nice and cool today, Blake.
Oh, it certainly is, and that's why I've got a big old smile on my face, because I like the cooler weather. I've only been complaining for the better part of I don't know, what do you say, Steph, about 2 months?
2 months.
At least. I understand. So many people tell me, hey, get lost if you don't like the hot weather. Well, you know what? I'm kind of a local, so you're stuck with me, unfortunately. It's just nice to have a little change in the weather. All right, let's get to it here. Taking a live look out over the city of Houston. The clouds have really begun to move in now. You can see the Williams Tower looking pretty good. You will not be able to see the Williams Tower tomorrow. It will be cloaked in a veil of rain and clouds, and it's just going to be an icky day as we head through the day on Wednesday. A cool day expected today. Temperatures in the upper 50s for daytime highs. All rain all day tomorrow, it looks like. In the weekend, hey, that's what we care about. Looking pretty good. 40 degrees right now at Bush Airport. 36 degrees in Conroe, 46 degrees at Hobby, 41 degrees in Sugar Land. It wouldn't be so bad if the sun didn't try to melt your eyes out in the middle of August, right? I mean, it's just so blazing hot. I mean, it's one thing to be hot in the middle of summer. It's another thing to be on the surface of the sun. Okay, I'm done complaining about the heat. I'm done talking about it. I'm done. Taking a look here at the radar, you can see the clouds moving on in. It's going to be an overcast day, especially as we head into the afternoon hours. So say goodbye to Mr. Sunshine for about 24 to 36 hours, and then it will be back as we get into the weekend. Take a look at the radar. There's the nemesis right there out over Arizona. It is moving this direction. It'll be in the state of Texas this evening, moving across the I-35 corridor as we get into the 4 o'clock hour tomorrow morning, that is, and then into our region just in time for the rush hour, it looks like, and it will be raining on and off all day tomorrow. Now, I want to emphasize this is not a severe weather event, and this is not a flood event. This is just a good old-fashioned rainy day here across the Houston area. Let's take a look at the rain chances. Virtually nil, at least through the rest of the day today, but watch how quickly they spike as we get into Wednesday, all the way up to 100% chance as we head into Wednesday afternoon, and then they finally taper off as we get into 4 a.m. on Thursday. By the time we get to Thursday afternoon, I think we're going to see some sunshine as the drier air begins to filter on in. Temperatures today starting off on the cold side, 30s and 40s area wide. By the time we get to this afternoon, look at this, the lunch hour 53. The model trying to get us maybe 55, 56, 57. I see a few 58s out there. The bottom line is I think we stay sub 60 for today. Even cooler tomorrow. How about high temperatures only in the lower 50s after a morning start of 44? 100% chance of showers in the forecast. 40% very early in the morning on Thursday pre-dawn. Thursday is going to be a dry day, so don't let that fool you. Sunny day on Friday and Saturday. Slight chance of a few sprinkles there on Sunday. We're back to 70 on Monday as we get ready to round out the month of January. And believe it or not, we are 7 full degrees above normal for the entire month of January. So if you think January has been a blowtorch month, you would be absolutely right. Which, Brandy, that's the reason why I continue to complain. I'll try to keep it to myself. But
I was going to say, tell me again how much you love those warm January days.
Do I have a point, though, about how hot June, July, August, and September. It's like our summers are 15 months. Can I just have 1 week, just 1 week where I can wear a coat? That's all. 1 week.
Or turn off my air conditioner.
Or turn off the AC, exactly. So I think we're in agreement here.
Yep. I think a lot of us here are in agreement. Blake, thank you so much. All right, we were wrapping up with a story, and it's kind of a what would you do? Would you do the same thing? So a guy bought a used couch at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. This is in Owasso, Michigan. Yeah, looks like a normal cushion. He couldn't get comfy on it though when he was sitting on it. So his daughter was like, "Okay, let's see what's in the cushion." It's $43,000 was in the cushion. $43,000 stuffed in there. So not the mattress, the couch cushion. The guy found it, called the Restore, connected with the folks who donated the couch and got them their money back. I wonder how many people would do that. Also, did this couple not notice that they donated the couch where they had stuffed $43,000? I would have noticed. He said he could have used the money. He wanted a new roof, but no. Apparently, the couch belonged to the woman's grandfather. And he passed, and they donated the couch. But still, would you turn it back in, all $43,000? I would like to say yes. I don't know. It's a lot of money for someone who didn't even know they were missing it, to be sure. And Grandpa didn't leave it in his will. Grandpa didn't say, by the way, there's always money in the sofa. Like, there's always money in the banana stand if you like Arrested Development. Right? Brandon?
Oh, I just appreciate a good Arrested Development reference.
Would you turn in the whole 40? It's $43,170.
Ooh, I want to say yes, but I know no.
Right?
I mean, maybe 33. You know, I'll take a finder's fee. Sorry.
It's so hard to say.
Yeah.
It's so hard to say when you're in it. But kudos to this guy. His name is Howard Kirby from Owasso, Michigan. A better person than I think most people would be. I don't know though. Could have been $53,000 that was in that couch.
There you go.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are folks saying?
Our big talker today is on this debate over dreadlocks, this local story. We got a lot of people actually siding with the school and the rules here. Joel, David, Nicole, and Ashley all saying rules are rules. It's the school and they can decide the rules. But Rosie here is also saying the child is in school to get an education. And at that point, maybe everybody just needs to mind their own business, and that the hair necessarily wasn't as distracting as it was being blown up to be.
And I should point out, because this is something that the superintendent said, there isn't a policy against locks or cornrows, braids, any of that. It's just a length issue. But, as I did mention, this rule, he says, is decades old, 30 years old. And folks are saying maybe it's time for an update. Times have changed, aesthetics have changed, in-school concerns have changed. So one of the main comments we saw this morning was, why are you wasting time on this when there are so much bigger issues to focus on, like school security, student testing, lots of other priorities. Anything else?
That's the big talker today.
Yeah, it has been all night since we covered that school board meeting. I encourage you to read up on the link above. You can hear from the district. You can hear from Deandre's mom, activists as well, all weigh in. And it's a story we're going to be following, to be sure, because the folks in his camp say they're giving the district about 48 hours to reverse their decision, or they might look for some help in the form of a federal lawsuit. So there's that. Another update is coming up at 2:15 this afternoon. Of course, keep an eye here for live coverage of the impeachment trial. All that discussion and voting is supposed to get underway at noon our time, I believe. Should be the beginning of an eventful couple of days, to say the least. If you're interested, you can also download the KHU11 News app and sign up for specific notifications, and we'll alert you when that kind of stuff drops, when we get those headlines. All right, my Monday is complete. Your Tuesday update is over, and I'm gonna go take a nap now. Have a good day.